Well, it's very difficult to summarize such a rich and intense day as we've had since this morning. I will just try very briefly to recap, some of the key points that have emerged from the discussion. We've been going through the various areas of work of the STOP project and the interconnections with the Best-ReMaP joint action during the course of the day. We have highlighted in the morning, particularly the work that STOP has been doing in terms of measuring childhood obesity, gathering a better understanding and data on the way childhood obesity has been developing over time, and particularly has been developing in different groups of the population of European countries. And this is hopefully adding new knowledge and new understanding to what we knew previously before the STOP project started. I've also emphasized, and Oliver Robinson from Imperial College has given a very comprehensive presentation about the work that we've been doing on the determinants of childhood obesity, leveraging biomarkers to understand the causal pathways that lead from specific types of exposures to the development of childhood obesity, starting from the period that predates birth and even conception in some cases. Then we've explored two policy areas that are really very important, because we are both projects are covering them. One is reformulation, the other is marketing and marketing regulation, in which we have had very, very interesting talks that have highlighted a number of important aspects to do with these two issues and the policies that have been developed and adopted by European countries around these two problems. So first on reformulation, I think we have learned a lot. We've learned that we really need to understand the drivers of consumer responses and manufacturer responses to reformulation policies. So we clearly need knowledge about what the characteristics of the food supply are, and this is what Best-ReMaP is taking care of by developing a comprehensive database that will really support policies on reformulation in Europe, but we also need to understand and be able to predict how consumers and manufacturers will respond to actions that provide incentives in that direction. We have also heard from Stephanie that there is a big gap between industry commitments and practices. So this is an area in which the industry has been making a lot of commitments, but what we see in practice is still that much of what they offer on the market, much of what they supply is still of a poor nutritional quality. So we really need to close this gap, and reformulation policies need to become stronger and stronger in trying to achieve this. On marketing, I think Karen Watson gave us an excellent example of how partnerships, multi-stakeholder partnerships can actually happen, even in areas where there are huge divergences between the interests and the approaches and attitudes of different stakeholders. She also, of course, illustrated the challenges that are involved in doing this. And I think the message came up very strong that governments are really struggling to keep up with developments in technology and developments, on the industry. In the industry, the actions that are deployed, particularly in marketing, but also in other areas. And we really need to find a new approach to policy that, while still, using evidence and using a rigorous approach to policy development, will be able to act in a timely way on the developments in technology and industry actions, so that we can prevent damage before it happens. Moitz and Luca talked about the work with stakeholders that they've been leading in STOP, and then Diane gave us a fantastic presentation on knowledge translation and the way in which we should really be structuring our approach and projects in order to get buy-in and translate effectively the knowledge that we produce into action on the ground. I will never do justice to her talk by trying to summarize it, but I really want to remember one concept that she conveyed very, very clearly in her talk. We need to move from a concept of making it happen to a concept of helping it happen, and this is really, something that would, make our work a lot more effective in terms of changing practices.